Hello and good morning, YouTube family. I am back in Kelowna in my apartment. Sorry that I sound kind of horrible. I just got over being sick. It is December 31st today, and this is going to be my first YouTube video of 2019. I'm coming back strong to YouTube. I was kind of thinking about this while I was on holidays. You know, I do so well with all the other platforms, but YouTube, God, I don't know what it is about you. You guys just mess with my mind. I don't know what I want to do. So, you know what? Screw it. This is just gonna be my diary. This is just gonna be my journal. This is me, Krysten Jansen, fitness coach for the Natty Hour, and I'm just gonna share my journey with you guys. That's it. A little bit of information along the way. More informative information will be on my Facebook and Instagram page. You guys can follow me there, but if you guys just kind of want to get to know me, I'm just going to be completely raw with my thoughts and stuff that I'm doing with my fitness journey, with my clients and stuff like that on this channel. So I'm pretty excited. I'm also going to be sharing my podcast episodes on this channel as well, just in case some people don't want to listen to it on iTunes. I know some people like listening to podcasts on YouTube. I'm definitely one of them. So that's something new that is going to be happening as well. And then just me. Hey, what's up? Hope you guys like me enough to stick around. Make sure you guys subscribe. So, in today's video, in the first video of 2019, I just want to share with you guys some lessons that I learned in 2018. And I did some training while I was back home for the holidays, so I'll try to overlay some training footage here for you guys so it's not too boring, just you staring right at me. You can see some training footage, see what I am doing, and we'll go from there. Lesson number one, I think the biggest thing that I learned is that setbacks have an opportunity to be comebacks. And I pulled this from, obviously, my back injury. You know, it was a huge setback for me this year to go through that back injury. I had major goals of competing in provincials for powerlifting. I was getting strong as fuck, and I injured my back. And it was such a depressing setback that I went through because I couldn't train at all. The injury that was that bad. You guys can go back to past videos where I talked about that if you want to know a little bit more. If you missed that part of my life this year, it was a pretty big part of my life of 2018. But if you missed it, you guys can go check out old videos for that. But the reason why I think it had an opportunity to be a comeback is because it gave me the opportunity to, for one, start a podcast. I started my More Than a Physique podcast, and that podcast was inspired from my back injury because I was no longer able to train, and that started to actually make me worry about my physique and how it would deteriorate and I would lose muscle, and I started like freaking out about it. And it made me remember that I'm an athlete, and yes, while being because I also compete in bodybuilding. While being a bodybuilding athlete, that does require you to have a good physique. I'm also a powerlifting athlete, and I also grew up being an athlete. I played in every sport under the sun. I've always loved sports. And by being an athlete, you know, you had to be more than a physique. There had to be more to it than that. So I started my podcast. I'm about 20 episodes in where I'm just discussing mentally how you can overcome some of these obstacles and how you can just be a better athlete in general and just be more than a physique, be more than what you look like. And the next one I would say is just being able to connect with my athletes from the Natty Hour who are going through some similar struggles. It allowed me to connect with them on a more deeper level. I also connected with so many other people on Instagram who went through back injuries, and it just allowed me to see that, you know what, you're not alone. And the most important person it allowed me to connect with is Kyle, and he doesn't talk about this at all, and I think he's going to eventually. But Kyle actually injured his back 3 years ago, and he hasn't been better since. You know, for reasons I'll let him tell you why once he decides to talk about it, but he has been injured and hasn't been able to train at his full capacity for 3 years. And I didn't know what that was like until I went through it myself, and I wasn't able to train for about 5 months. And I was literally going insane, thinking to myself, fuck man, how have you been going through this for 3 years? And you don't realize how depressing being in pain every day for that long can be until you go through it. I would always get upset with him before, be like, oh, it's fine, you'll pull through, you just need to do your stretches more, you need to walk more, and you'll be okay. And I wasn't as sympathetic as I was once I went through the back injury myself, and I was able to see like, oh shit, you're not messing around, this sucks. And I felt really sad for him, but it allowed me to connect with him and relate to him. And, you know, ultimately he's almost in a place where he's able to start training again now too. He's not 100% in the clear as much as I am, because when you're injured that long and you neglect it, you know, it's harder to pull yourself out of it. Whereas mine, even though 8 months sounds like a long time, and believe me, it felt like forever, it really isn't in comparison. So I think that was the biggest takeaway that I had with going through this back injury. The next lesson that I learned in 2018 is that you can't do everything, nor should you want to. And let me explain. You can do anything that you want, and if you want to do everything, then that's totally okay. You just have to realize that there's some sacrifices there. And I always grew up wanting to do everything. Like I said, I played every sport under the sun. I was actually also very musical. I did dance as well. I performed in recitals. I wrote my own music. I tried to do everything. I've always had that mindset. And something I realized this year is by me trying to do everything like that, even when I was younger, it didn't allow me to excel to excellence. And, you know, I was always a pretty good basketball player. I was always a pretty good guitar player. I was always a pretty good songwriter. I was never amazing, and that was always my goal. So I realized that this year, quickly at the beginning of 2018, actually, when Kyle and I wanted to start a videography company. A lot of people don't know that because it ended as quickly as it started. Something we realized with it is that, you know, videography is something that Kyle and I love to do together. It's a great hobby. It allows us to promote our personal brands. It allows us to promote him for real estate, and for me to communicate with you guys through video on social media. And it is a beautiful hobby that Kyle and I, we just love doing it together. But once we tried to make it a business, it was quickly killing our passion. There were some creative differences with clients that I just didn't want to deal with that headache. I didn't want to deal with someone telling me that they like something better versus what I was doing. And, you know, doing videos on somebody else's terms and editing it to their preferences versus my own, it was just making me not like videography whatsoever anymore. And I think the same thing for Kyle. I think I can speak for him and say that he felt the same way, that, you know, it made us take a step back and question, what do we really want to do? What do I want to be excellent in? That, you know, it's something I never focused on when I was a kid. And that's to be an amazing athlete and an amazing fitness coach to my clients. And it made the decision easy to let go of the videography business and realize that, hey, it's okay to have hobbies. It's okay to be great in hobbies. But if I really want to be excellent in something, I need to focus 80 to 90% of my time doing that thing. And that is to be a better coach and to be a better athlete. Because if I can be a better athlete, I can be a better coach. So I think that was a huge burden off my shoulders, because I've always felt like I've had to do everything. And it was okay to realize, like, you can if you want to, but if you want to be excellent, which is something I've been striving for since I was a kid, you can't do everything. You have to let it go. I think the last thing that I want to share with you guys that I learned this year is that more time won't improve your life. It'll just amplify your existing behaviors. I heard this on a podcast somewhere, and I apologize, I can't remember where I heard it, but once I heard it, I was like, oh shit. Because I think all of us, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but myself definitely always am stressing and feeling anxious and overwhelmed that I don't have enough time in the day to do everything that I want. So it causes me to have these really bad behaviors where I feel stressed out, I'm kind of short with the people around me that I love, and I'm just not being present with the project that I'm doing because I'm so overwhelmed and focused on what I need to be doing, what else I have to do. So I found that really took me away from my relationships this year, which was actually one of my biggest goals to focus on in 2018, was having more quality relationships. And I found when I was spending time with people, I wasn't being 100% present with them because I was always focusing, okay, I have to do this, I have to go do that. Oh my gosh, I still have to do this. Oh my gosh, it's already 8 o'clock. I don't have any time. I need to go to sleep. And that's how my mind would spiral. But once I realized that, you know, we're all granted with the same amount of time, that I'm never gonna get more time, I need to be more conscious of how I spend my time, but realize that even if I did have more time, it's going to just amplify this anxiety and overwhelm that I am feeling right now. That it's not going to make it better, it's just going to make it worse, because you're just going to add more stuff on your to-do list, and you're still going to have those feelings of feeling anxious all the time. So once I kind of let that go, that I need more time and to just focus on being more present with those around me, it allowed me to actually be more creative. It allowed me to take a step back and just breathe more. And once I slowed down a little bit, I know it didn't create more time, because you can't, but it felt like it created more time. I was managing my time better by slowing down, being present, and just taking a step back. And then it also allowed me to achieve one of my biggest goals, which was be more present with those around me. And that's about it, you guys. I mean, obviously there were a bunch of other lessons that I learned throughout the year, but those are definitely the biggest ones that I noticed that I wanted to share with you guys, because I think you can take something away from what I've learned this year. And I'm just excited. I definitely think that what I learned in 2018 are things that I want to continue to improve on in 2019, and it just makes me excited, motivated to just make 2019 the best year yet. All right, my friends, well, I don't want to ramble on for too long, so comment down below. I would love to know what some of your lessons were for 2018. I think it was a good year for most people, and I mean, there's always lessons to be learned. Even if you're not where you want to be, I'll leave you guys with this. Even if you're not where you want to be at the end of 2018, that's just an opportunity to make 2019 that much better. I promise you, it's an opportunity, not a setback, okay, my friends? Thanks so much for watching the first official YouTube video of 2019. Many more to come, my friends. I hope you guys have had an amazing New Year's and an even better 2019. Make sure you guys stick around. Awesome content coming at you for 2019. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.